Good morning. So, in this video, we will discuss about the botany question came under LTR 2025, that is held on the 22 June. So, the first question comes under the classification. So, the name of Benthamum hooker is associated with, you know that the Benthamum hooker is associated with the natural system of classification. So, this one will be the answer. So if you will take the reference, the NCERT reference, so it is mentioned over here. So natural classification system developed which were based on the natural affinities among the organism and consider not only the external features but also the internal facility like ultrastructure, anatomy, embryology and phytochemistry. Such a classification for flowering plants was given by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. So the answer will be the natural system of classification. Okay, so classification, the first question. Then comes under the 107 number. Mesophytes are group of the plants, that is the last we have discussed it, means because in this same question has been came in the last RST. So mesophytes are the group that plants that love to grow in the land. Okay, so you're saying that terrestrial uh, the mesophytes are terrestrial plants that are not suited on the especially dry or humid climate. A rural temperate meadow, which may include the goldenrod, clover. Okay, so these are the example of mesophytic ecosystems. So this is the land will be the correct answer. Okay, then the cyclic photophosphorylation in photosynthesis. The cyclic photophosphorylation only PS1 is involved. So only case of PS1 only involved, that is only ATP is released. This is the same question that is also came continuously in the teaching exams. So only PS1 is involved and ATP will be the production of ATP will be there in the cyclic. In case of non-cyclic, there will be ATP and ATPase and O2. So in case of cyclic, it only ATP. So B will be the answer. So as it is marked the answers because it is been discussed in the last classes yesterday. So that's why it is marked. 109 coralloid root. See, coralloid root, that is the feature of cycas. Okay, so coralloid root generally helps in the case of microbial interaction in the roots of the cycas. Okay, so that's why you see over here the reference is given. The roots of generally taproot system in the gymnosperm. The roots of same genera have fungal association with form as mycorrhiza. That is, mycorrhiza is found in the pinus. While in some other cycas, small specialized roots called as a coralloid roots associated with the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. So ये कौन है nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria? এটা को हमें कहते हैं coralloid root. Okay, so that's why. So the answer is coralloid roots are found in what? Cycas. Okay. Then comes to 110 number question. C4 plants are adopted. देखो C4 plants है ना, C4 plants generally कौन कहते हैं hot and dry climate. Okay, जोटा आंसर अच्छी D number. And temperate नुहो कहेंगे, temperate माने normal means it's like usual temperature, temperate climate. Okay, it's saying that it is a tropical region. See, plants are adapted to the dry tropical regions. So hot and dry climate will be the correct answer, not wet climate. Cold to nuha, hot and dry climate. Okay, so there is a special type of anatomy is seen in the C4 plants. Okay, fine. That is called as a cranch anatomy. Okay, so the cranch anatomy came in the last exams. So 110 number question is about the photosynthesis. Then in case of source of oxygen liberated in the photosynthesis. So if you will see source of oxygen in the photosynthesis, that will be water. Okay, the reference will be given in the NCERT. He said that in green plants, H2 is hydrogen donor and oxidized O2. Some organisms do not release O2 during the photosynthesis when H2S, okay, instead of hydrogen donor for purple and green sulfur bacteria. The oxygen product is sulfur, and the sulfur depending on the organism, not O2. So hence he inferred that the oxygen involved in the green plant comes from the water, not from the carbon dioxide. This was later proved by using radioisotope technique. Okay, so the correct equation given as 6CO2 12H2O. Equation is given. So this oxygen liberated comes from the water only. 112 number question. The group of the plant that produces seed but lack flower. So you know that gymnosperm lacks flower. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, flower bearing plant is called as angiosperms. Okay, so 113 number question. Again, a group of similar plants normally freely among them, a group of similar plants that normally breed among themselves. So देखो जो माने आम जो अच्छी आम किंगडम क्लासिफिकेशन अंडर जो नॉर्मल किंगडम फैमिली दीज आर द थिंग्स से पचारे कौन द ग्रुप ऑफ सिमिलर प्लांट्स that normally breed माने reproduce among themselves or interbreeding करूची among themselves is called एटा कौन ना आंसर होची species तार रेफरेंस देछि ब्यूरो बुक रे the species is defined as a group of individuals which have the capacity to interbreed among themselves to produce fertile offspring. So answer will be B, species. 114 number question. Succinate vernation is associated with. See, succinate vernation माने the leaf रो young leaf रो tip टा केमथि हेकि थिबो ना मोड़ी हेकि थिबो एमथि coiled हेकि थिबो हला एटा हमको देखा जाए फॉन्स रे यार डायरेक्ट रेफरेंस आपनकर लाइन्स ऑफ एनसीईआरटी कि ब्यूरोज रे नाही बट ब्यूरोज रो एते बेले से डिस्कस करिछि टेरिडोफाइट्स रो एग्जांपल डिस्कस करिछि आ तार एग्जांपल रो फोटोज देछि माने डायग्राम देछि से डायग्राम रे सेठी मेंशन अछि सर्सिनेटली कॉइल्ड यंग लीव्स. ओके सो फॉर्न्स ओके Diopteris adiantum. Okay, so Thorn will be the answer. Okay, next 150 number question. The public document that recorded endangered species, you know that is Red Data Book. So it is in class 7 class 8 NCERT conservation of plant and animals. He's saying that he tells that the Red Data Book is the source book which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. Red Data Book is maintained internationally by organization. India also maintains a Red Data Book for the plants and animals and found in the India. Okay, so answer will be the Red Data Book. 116 number question. The fast stable compound, so C3 cell fast stable Rubisco enzyme सहित कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ये हम कौन आसो ना 3 phosphoglycerol acid. So 3 PGA will be the two compound of 3 PGA will be there. So the answer is PGA. Okay, next the carotenoid. See carotenoid au anthophyll दीटा को एंथोफिल आउ कैरोटिनॉइड. तो क्वेश्चन पचारछि कोन ना कैरोटिनॉइड पिगमेंट प्रोटेक्ट द प्लांट्स फ्रॉम द सेटा कोन करंती ना फोटो ऑक्सीडेशन. कहार फोटो ऑक्सीडेशन ना क्लोरोफिल ए मॉलिक्यूल रो फोटो ऑक्सीडेशन रो बंचंती. सो सी to chlorophyll is the major component responsible for the trapping of light. Other thylakoid pigments like chlorophyll B, anthophyll and carotenoid, which are called as accessory pigments, also absorb light and transfer the energy to chlorophyll A. Indeed, they not only enable a wider range of wavelength of incoming light to be utilized for photosynthesis, but also protect the chlorophyll A from the photooxidation. Okay, कोटा photooxidation हमको रक्षा करूची कोटा anthophyll, carotenoid and chlorophyll B. Okay. Then 118 photoperiodic behavior of a plants mediated by the pigment. देखो photoperiodic behavior जोटा हमर अछि. Okay, photoperiodism जोटा हमें कहूचे. Okay, the short day plant, long day plant. Okay, से कहूची mediated by pigment. एटा proteinaceous pigment द्वारा एटा हिया होची. त कोन कहआ जाय हमें देखो ब्यूरो रो डायरेक्ट लाइन अछि. The inhibition of flowering of short day plants by brief exposure of red light stimulation is flowering for long day plants by introduction of dark period involves the operation of a proteinaceous pigment that is called as the phytochrome. So answer will be the phytochrome. Okay, plant growth and development chapter ro question eta. The plant growth and development, PGD, that's why it is mentioned. And from this chapter, around 7 to 8 questions came. Okay, it's a very small chapter. The significance of the hormones, oxygen, gibberellin, cytokinin, ethylene. Okay, and these photoperiodic behaviors, how a plant hormone chemical control in the plant works. So in from that small chapter, the 7 to 8 questions coming directly from the lines of the bureaus and NCERT. So ethylene is, you know that it is a gaseous hormone. Okay, fine. There is, I don't think so. There is no more discussion in this question, direct question. So hardwood in plants. So hardwood ta हम कौन ना वो dead tissue है ना. It लिखा है देखो, in old trees the greater part of secondary wood is filled up with tannins, resins, gums, essential oils which make it hard and durable. So it look dark or brown. This region is known as hardwood. The heart is dead and conduction of water does not take place through it. So it is dead tissue. Okay. 121 question. Saying dihybrid cross of 9:3:3:1 ହେଲା କ'ଣ ଆମେ ଯେ ନେଇଛେ ରାଉଣ୍ଡ ୟେଲୋ ଓକେ ଆଉ ରିଙ୍କିଲ୍ ଗ୍ରୀନ୍ ଏସନ୍ नो ସ୍ମଲ୍ ଆର୍ ସ୍ମଲ୍ ଆର୍ ସ୍ମଲ୍ ଆଇ ସ୍ମଲ୍ ୱାଇ ସୋ ଏଇଠୁ ଆମେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛେ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ F1 ଜେନେରେସନ୍ରେ ଓକେ ହେଟ୍ରୋଜାଇଗସ୍ ମିଳୁଛି ଆମକୁ କ୍ରସ୍ ଆଉ ଏଇଟାକୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ସେଲ୍ଫିଂ କରୁଛେ ଓକେ ଓକେ. So it be say round yellow because it is this capital R এটা dominant show କରୁଛି round को और capital Y small y এটা yellow show କରୁଛି এটা ବି ସେଇ round yellow ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦୁଇଟା cross କରୁଛେ ଆମେ କ'ଣ ପାଉଛେ ନା 9ଟା round yellow ହେଲା ଓକେ round yellow 9ଟା 3ଟା round green ଓକେ 3ଟା wrinkled yellow ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ wrinkled green. Okay, so 9:3:3:1 এটা রেশিও আমি পাউছে ডাইহাইব্রিড ক্রস রে. Yes or no? So in that cross এই जो রাউন্ড येलो রাউন্ড গ্রিন wrinkled येलो wrinkled green এগুলা সব কোন এগুলা সব কোন ফিনোটাইপিক বিহেভিয়ার. সো দ রেশিওটা কোন আমি কইবা ফিনোটাইপিক রেশিও. ওকে, সো জিনোটাইপিক বাহার গলে পুনেট স্কোয়ার ଦେଖିକି জিনোটাইপ ବାହାର କରିପାରିବା ଆମେ ହେଲା ନାହିଁ. ବେଳେବେଳେ ପଚାରିଥିଲା ଆର୍ସି ପୁନେଟ୍ର ଏ ଯେଉଁ ବାହାର କରିଥିଲେ ଯେଉଁ ପୁନେଟ୍ ସ୍କୋୟାର ଯେଉଁଟା ଆମେ କରୁଛେ ଇଜି ହେବା ପାଇଁ ଯେନ୍ କ୍ରସ୍କୁ ଏଇଟା ତାଙ୍କର ନ୍ୟାସନାଲିଟି କ'ଣ ଥିଲା ନ୍ୟାସନାଲିଟି ପଚାରିଥିଲା କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍. ଓକେ, ସୋ ଦିସ୍ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍ ଇଟ୍ସ ରିଟେନ୍ ଇନ୍ ଦ NCERT. If you will go through the NCERT lines, it is written what is the nationality of RC question. You just comment me what is the nationality of RC Punet in the video. So electors in the brachyphytes are responsible for the spore dispersal. ଟିକେ out of syllabus question ଆସିଛି. Okay, see electors are usually generally କ'ଣ ହୁଏ ନା spores dispersal ଏ ଯେଉଁ electors ଅଛି ଏଇଟା କ'ଣ ନା liver root species ରେ ଦେଖାଯାଏ. Okay, ଦେଖ elaters are usually seen in the liver root species. They are the cells that tube shaped which have thickening that are spiral shape are present in the spore capsules and helpful during the spore dispersion. Okay, so plant conjoined collateral open vascular bundles code dekha jaye na dicot stem. Direct question, see here. Okay, the arrangement of vascular bundle as characteristics of dicot stem. Each vascular bundle is conjoined, open, and enriched. Ended protoxylem. Okay, so dicot stem will be the answer. 124 number question. Photo respiration takes places in. Photo respiration tinta kauta na chloroplast, mitochondria. Okay, ଆଉ peroxisome. Okay, so ତିନିଟା ଆକାରେ ହୁଏ. So answer will be D. Okay, Caspian strip are seen with. देखो Caspian streamଟା एंडोडर्मिस रो. ओके, हमर जो एपिडर्मिस, मेसोडर्मिस, एंडोडर्मिस रो लाइन एंडोडर्मिस रो फोल्डिंग को हम कोन देखो. The endodermis is the innermost layer. Yes or no? Epidermis the outermost layer. Is often wavy and single layer. It often contains numerous starch grains. In a transverse section, it appears the barrel-shaped without intercellular spaces. The cells show a deposition of waxy material called as the suberin. On their radial walls, these appear in the form of strips or bands which are called as the Caspian strips. Okay. So answer will be the endodermis. Fine. Vascular cambium is in कौन ना vascular cambium आम कौन आम कौचे देख मत तो ए क्वेश्चन टिके डाउट आसूची आंसर देछि सेकंड lateral meristem मत लागुच एटा secondary meristem so it's saying that is partly partially or partly secondary okay partly primary or partly secondary okay the mention ହେଇଛି ଏଠି देखो ये लास्ट लाइन में मेंशन है द कैम्बियम रिंग is thus partly primary partly secondary meristem in origin but generally lateral meristem रो कौन हम कहूँ lateral meristem रो lateral meristem टाक जदि आम देखा ताहले सेटा vascular cambium केस रे मत ए क्वेश्चन एट में डाउट आसूची डायरेक्ट मेंशन अच्छी पार्टली प्राइमरी और पार्टली सेकेंडरी है बट in case of the strip of cambium present between the xylem and phloem of vascular bundle is fascicular vascular cambium. At first the parenchyma cells of medullary rays in a line cambium becomes meristematic. This joins to the fascicular cambium to either side of a form a complete ring. The cambium ring thus is partly primary and partly secondary. The answer question is asking vascular cambium. Okay, so let's see what OSS is given the final answer. OSS is given the answer as a lateral meristem. This one is the actual answer is given with OSSC. I'm thinking it's as the primary meristem is not mentioned directly over here. I'm thinking it is a secondary meristem. But let's see what answer is given. Okay. If you have any proper reference, you please give me. Okay. So 127 number question. Mechanical tissue consisting of a living cells that is collenchyma. Mechanical बेले बेले इट कौन हुए ना collenchyma में photosynthesis को करे. कहीं photosynthesis हुए ना किसी टा chloroplast cell collenchyma था. The tissue consists of somewhat elongated living cells, intercellular spaces, most thickened due to deposit of cellulose and pectin. The cell wall is unevenly thickened. The cell contain chloroplast and thus participate in the photosynthesis. They are flexible in nature. So stem function is therefore both mechanical and vital. Right. So monocot plants lack secondary growth because they have. So this question also I'm thinking as it is a monocot plants lack secondary growth due to closed vascular bundles. Okay, but answer is given as a cambium. According to my what I have gone through the lines, it is I'm thinking it's the closed vascular bundles, but answer is in the OSSC I think it is cambium is given. So let's see what happens in this question. So two doubts came. So in dicot plants tyloses are seen and generally it is a secondary xylem. So in this case the reference I am not attaching over here. So this is in the graduation, this is again the out of syllabus questions. Okay, plant cell without nuclei is called as the sheep tubes. Here is mentioned. So sheep tubes generally cytoplasm. In all tubes, callus forms a permanent deposit. Wait. See, sheep tubes occur as a long, slender, tube-like structure composed of elongated cells placed to end. Their walls are thin and made up of cellulose. Their transverse walls are oblique and are perforated in a sheep-like manner to form a sheep plate. The protoplasmic strands of a sheep tube pass the adjacent sheep plate. In winter, sheep plates get impregnated with the callus pads made up of cellulose. On arrival of spring, under the favorable conditions, the callus get dissolved. A young sheep tubes contain nucleus. Young sheep tube, okay? But cytoplasm and other organelles. In old sheep tubes or matured sheep tubes, callus form a permanent deposit. Its nucleus get disintegrated. But a layer of cytoplasm prevails which continues through the pores. Answer will be sheep tubes. Okay. You can do also by eliminating all other options. Okay. So 131 soybean. Soybean is a short day plant directly mentioned over here. See, these plants are exposed to photo period shorter than a critical period. So these plants are also known as long night plants also. Short day plants or long night plants. Example is given: rice, coffee, soybean, tobacco and Christmas. So answer will be the short day plant. Abscisic acid promotes what? It's inhibit. Okay, so inhibit leaf fall. Okay, so it is a inhibitor. Okay, see about it promotes NSS by inhibiting the protein RNA synthesis, causing the destruction of the chlorophyll. Okay, so leaf fall set my way. Fine. 24D टा गोटे weedicide. Okay, it's a weedicide, but कथा हला एठी weedicide mention नहीं ऑप्शन ने हमें ताको herbicide ही चूज करिवा. प्लांट फिजियोलॉजी एफडब्ल्यूएंट. सो प्लांट फिजियोलॉजी एफडब्ल्यूएंट कौन बाहर करथिले ना ऑक्सीजन बाहर करथिले. ऑक्सीजन को आइसोलेट करथिले. ऑक्सीजन नो काम कौन ना एलोंगेशन ना. सो एठी एलोंगेशन नहीं. तो देखियो ऑक्सीजन जो लाइंस देखियो देयर आर द फर्स्ट major plant hormones to be discovered. Auxins are the group of phytohormone produced in the short day plants. Produced in the shoot and the root apexes, and they migrate to the apex. Okay, to the zone of elongation. Auxin promote the growth along with the longitudinal axis and plant. Hence the name of auxin, meaning to the grow. Okay, so give me 1 second. The auxin was introduced by Kogi and Hagen Smith and Owent. See Owent, okay. This FW Owent located auxin from the Avena coleoptile tips by method of Avena coleoptile or curvature test. Concluded that no growth can occur without auxin. एठी कौन कोई ना ओट coleoptile. ओट coleoptile टा कौन एना ओट दे coleoptile टा होची कौन ना एना protective sheet that covers the young shoot plumule. हला ए shoot को गोटे covering दउची. हला of a germinating oat seed or any grass seed. Okay, that's why it's coming from the grass na. See, the auxin is isolated from the grass. Okay, Avena coleoptile. Okay, so this coleoptile टा कौन करूची ना गोटे covering दउची. हला ता कौन करूची रोल कौन ना early seedling को develop करूची. So that's why the plant physiology is linked to oat coleoptile. So oat रे ए जो coleoptile ये करूची सेटा plant seedling को support करूची. coleoptile कौन करूची ना मोनोकोट प्लांट से जनरली देखा जाए, डाइकोट प्लांट रे देखा जाए नहीं, लाइक ओट्स, मेज, व्हीट. हाँ, ओके. सो कौन करूची coleoptile काम कौन ना ये जो प्रोटेक्ट कौन करूची काहा को प्रोटेक्ट करूची, प्रोटेक्ट शूट टिप. ओके, प्रोटेक्ट द शूट टिप. ओके, so that it will germinate faster. Fine. So answer will be the oat coleoptile. Okay, so this will not answer, this will not answer, fruit ripening is not answer. Okay, the hormone that causes stunted growth किए करूची ethylene करूची है ना. 136. First of all, double fertilization in plant was described by. So it is first in here it is mentioned the process of double fertilization was discovered by S.C. Novosin in Lilium and Fritillaria. Okay. 137. Most commonly mature embryo sac. This question, I don't know what OSSC is doing, is smelling some coffee in the morning and preparing the question, or what exactly they are smoking. Okay, so the most commonly mature embryo sac. See, the gote embryo sac जो देखिवा हला एटे हम देखिवा एटे कौन गोटे चालाजाल एंड आ गोटे माइक्रोपाइलर एंड हला आम ये सिनर्जिट करुचे. ये आंटीपोडाल सेल्स आम कहे, आंटीपोडाल सेल्स एक कहे. फाइन, यहाँ कहे आम सेंट्रल सेल, यहाँ कहे आम एग आपाराटस. ये तो थाए स्ट्रक्चर ये देखो ना लिखाई. There are the characteristic distribution of the cell within the embryo sac. Their cells are grouped together in a micropylor and constitute the egg apparatus. The egg apparatus in turn consists of 2 synergid and 1 egg cell. 2टा synergid थाए, एटा गोटे आ गोटे होची एक्सेल एटा होची एक्सेल टोटल टा कोन आमे एक apparatus एटा synergid कहूचे ए तीनटा कोन ना एंटीपोडल सेल हला ए synergid कोन करे ना फिलिफॉर्म apparatus है जोटा माने जो हमरो पोलिनेशन को गाइड करे हला पोलन ट्यूब को गाइड करे ए जो synergid टा the synergid have special cellular thickening micropellar tip at the filiform apparatus. They play important role guiding the pollen tube into the synergid. These cells are called chalaza end and called as the antipodals. The large central cell, as mentioned earlier, has two polar nuclei, theta polar nuclei. So does a typical angiosperming embryo sac have maturity have 8 nuclei? देखो 8टा nuclei total 8 को गोटिए धरा जाउछ हम central cell टाको हला कोन ना देख किंतु न्यूक्लियर केटा देखो एटी गोटे 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8टा न्यूक्लिएटेड 8 न्यूक्लिएटेड ओके सेल केतरा देखो गोटे एंटीपोडल दीटा एंटीपोडल तीनटा एंटीपोडल गोटे सेंट्रल सेल 4 दीटा सिनर्जिड आ गोटे एक्सेल हैला 4 3 7 7 सेल 8 न्यूक्लिएट but I don't know how this they are saying 8 cell 8 nuclei will be the answer tell 8टा nucleus कोड को आसेला sorry they are given the answer as 1 cell 8 nuclei ए क्वेश्चन 8 आंसर दै छथि ना कोन एमति कोन ओके ए चारिटा ऑप्शन को गोटे ऑप्शन भी करेक्ट नै 7टा सेल 8टा nuclei अब 8 की something is not that somewhere here is written something somewhere is written any other things okay so I have given reference of many things in the one of the telegram group okay so also in my group so in that if will get a reference then I have given the reference of igno okay I am given the reference of ncrt as well bureaus as well okay and there are some that industry level neat edtech channels they are also in that model they have written that the 7 cell and 8 nuclear okay so he's saying in the igno's books also they saying that in this is polygonum time of embryo development okay they say that it is 7 cell and 8 nucleated okay then I say that after 3 mitosis megaspore 7 cell and 8 nucleated structure is formed this 8 nucleated and 7 cell called as the female gametophyte or the embryo sac of the angiosperms. This type of embryo sac is known as polygonum type because it was discovered by in the Strasburger in the polygonum plant. Polygonum type of embryo sac is most common type of angiosperm. Okay. So most commonly it is asking. Okay. So polygonum type of embryo sac is most common. So mostly common I am coach polygonum type angiosperms. Polygonum type of embryo sac develops from the single megaspore. So it also known as monosporic embryo sac. The synergid have finger-like structure, filiform apparatus jota I am coach. Okay so with the help with help of this structure synergid absorb food from the nucellus and transfer into embryo sac filiform apparatus also secrete chemicals which attract and guide the pollen tube to the synergid so I don't think so there will be any other options except that 7 cell and 8 nuclei okay I don't know how it is given I think it's a wrong question and the grace should be given. Parthenocarpic fruit again there is two answers over here without fertilization without seeds so both are the most appropriate will be without fertilization but without seed is technically correct also I mean parthenocarpic fruit tomato okay grapes jo asuchi bartaman okay these are the without seeds yes or no so technically both when the fertilization is not there so seed will be not there so without fertilization without seed both are the answers okay what OSSC is doing really. Oogamous sexual reproduction is seen in. Again here is also if you will go through the chlorophycy of the algae chapter okay see in that chapter okay in that chapter also there will be written as the type of reproduction isogamous anisogamous or oogamous okay so in that see some commonly found green algae are Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Elotrix, Spirogyra. So Volvox is not written over here. So correct answer will be that. But now these options Chara and Chlamydomonas, okay, both will be the answer. So in that case again there will be one more okay ambiguity. Fine. 140 number question. After fertilization usually what happens? Ovule forms the seed and a ovary forms the fruit. Here is the following the double fertilization events of endosperm and embryo development, maturation of ovules into seeds and ovary into fruit. So tissue culture of apical meristem helps in the production of देखो ए टिश्यू कल्चर ऑफ apical meristem कौन ପାଇଁ हुए जनरली एटा भाइरस फ्री प्लांट ପାଇଁ हुए कौन ना भाइरस फ्री प्लांट जनरली भाइरस इंक्यूबेशन ପାଇଁ टिश्यू कल्चर ପାଇଁ भाइरस फ्री एनवायरनमेंट निहाती दरकार तो जनरली apical meristem रे जनरली भाइरस न थाए तो सेट में हमें ताको नौचे माने गोटे भाइरस फ्री प्लांट ये पाई एयर रेफरेंस आसी प्लांट सॉरी बायोटेक्नोलॉजी of 12th NCERT. So here it is written. So for vegetatively propagated plants, virus infection is a serious problem, as the entire colonial population raised from the infected stocks will also be infected with the virus. Therefore, a production of a virus-free plant is important to maintain the yield and quality of vegetatively propagated plants. Interestingly, these viruses particles have uneven distributions throughout the plant body. Generally, apical or axillary meristems are free from these virus particles. Therefore, very small part of apical meristem can be used explant to initiate the culture for the production of a virus-free plants. So, answer will be the virus-free plants. So, alleles are the alternate form of genes. Okay, is the slightly different but the same form of the same gene. Okay. कौची रिसेसिव जीन्स कैन बी एक्सप्रेस रिसेसिव जीन्स कैन बी एक्सप्रेस कौटी एक्सप्रेस होची होमोजाइगस कंडीशन ना हेट्रोजाइगस कंडीशन ना बोथ होमोजाइगस हेट्रोजाइगस कंडीशन हेट्रोट्रॉपिक कंडीशन देखो होमोजाइगस कंडीशन कौन प्रथम देखो एटा होची होमोजाइगस कंडीशन और दिस वन इज होमोजाइगस कंडीशन जदि हमें टॉल रा नौचे ओके हेट्रोजाइगस कंडीशन कौन एटा होची हेट्रोजाइगस कंडीशन बर्तमान कहवा होची the recessive genes can be expressed केतेबेले एक्सप्रेस करिवे तुम जानछ ए जो 9 जेतेबेले डाई हाइब्रिड क्रॉस देखिलो 9:3:3:1 अच्छा गोटे आस्तला कोन राउंड येलो एटा कोन दीटा को डोमिनेंट ओके देन आस्तला राउंड ग्रीन ए रिंकल्ड येलो आओ रिंकल्ड ग्रीन एटा आसला सो एटा 3 एटा 9 एटा 3 एटा 1 तो देखो ए जो गोटे आसला रिंकल ग्रीन एटा देखो ए आर स्टैंड्स फॉर द राउंड ओके आर कैप स्मॉल आर राउंड एंड स्मॉल आर इट विल बी wrinkled. Only when it is showing the wrinkled structure when both are in the homozygous condition. Okay, not heterozygous. Heterozygous condition में तो जे dominant हो से ही show करिवो ना. Okay, so 8 wrinkle grid कौन आसला small r small y smaller. That's why all are in the homozygous condition. That's why it is wrinkle green is shown. Otherwise, it will be somewhat different. So recessive gene can be expressed only in the homozygous conditions. Okay. So according to law of segregation, two alleles responsible for character united fertilization separate in the कोठी meiosis रे ही separate होते देखो ये spindle fibers आसिक लागे नहीं थे spindle fibers आसिक लागे ना नहीं एठी एमते कि spindle fibers लागे so कोठी separate होची meiosis रे होची okay 145 this question is out of syllabus. I will discuss it later. I will put it in the group. Okay, so a bit doubt is there. 145 146 when a gene pair marks the expression of another non-allelic gene, the phenomenon, this question comes from the gene interaction. So this is comes from the IGNO. It is again out of syllabus question. Epistasis is the interaction of non-allelic genes which one gene marks the expression of another gene. जोटा हेची से जोटा मास्क हेची तब आमे सेटा कहचे आमे हाइपोस्टैटिक आ जोटा करो सेटा को आमे कहचे एपिस्टैटिक. So the phenomenon is कहचे phenomenon को कहचे आमे epistasis. एटा आंसर. This one is also out of syllabus. Okay. The phenomenon of a blast of rice. The symptoms of blast of rice. Bluish green necrotic lesions. Okay. Plant pathology question. Okay. C will be the answer. Go through the plant pathology book and you will get to know. The black stem of rust wheat is the secondary host of barberry plant produces Asia. Okay. So this is also not in the graduation books. Okay, sorry, not in the 11 12th books and plant pathology books. This is in higher plant pathology books. Host करे जो black stem frost disease टा secondary host prepare करे तो सेटा कौन produce करूची सेटा करूची question 149 number question. So gramineous predominantly spreads the जो ता powdery mildew disease सेटा कौन से देखो एटा गोटे होची एई जो ग्रामिनिस ओके एटा कौन गोटे आस्कोक्राप और आस्कोमाइसिटिस. अच्छा आस्कोमाइसिटिस होची गोटे फंजीर गोटे टाइप्स ऑफ फंजी. सो तुम जब कमनली नोन आज यहाँ कौन कौन आम सैक फंजी भी कौन ये जो सैक फंजी ये आस्कोमाइसिटिस कौन ना यहाँ केमी रिप्रोड्यूस प्रोमिनेंटली स्प्रेड्स माने कौन माने रिप्रोड्यूस करुच्ची स्प्रेड करे. अच्छा स्प्रेड करे जनरली आसेक्सुअली मैंने स्प्रेड करती सेक्सुअली एते स्प्रेड एते हम ना देन तेल स्प्रेड्स जो मिल्ड्यू पाउडर डिप्लीशन आसेक्सुअली ही एटा स्प्रेड करुच्ची. ये जो स्प्रेड आसेक्सुअली करुच्ची एटा क्या द्वारा करुच्ची स्पोर्ट्स द्वारा करुच्ची. से स्पोर्ट्स ना कौन स्पोर्ट्स ना हूँ कोनिडिया. Okay, see the special spores are called as the conidia. So conidia produce exogenously in the special mycelium called as the conidiophores. So कौन conidia द्वारा spread करुच्ची. Sorry. So answer will be the conidia. Question टिके बुलेगी पकेची. Okay. यदि जानी तो एटा आस्कोमाइसिटिस देन तमे यार स्पोर को धरि परियो. ओके कोनिडोफोर्स ता जो होउची सेटा कोन कोनिडोफोर्स है. हाइटोप्थोरा इन्फेक्शन द काजुअल एजेंट ऑफ लेट ब्लाइट ऑफ पोटैटो फंगस एटा कहाँ अंडर जाउची फंजीरो ना फाइकोमाइसिटिस जेना डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स है फाइकोमाइसिटिस आस्कोमाइसिटिस बेसिडियोमाइसिटिस ड्यूटेरोमाइसिटिस. सो दिस दो जेटा लेट ब्लाइट ऑफ पोटैटो करूची हमर फाइटोप्थोरा सेटा कहाँ अंडर जाउची फाइकोमाइसिटिस. दिस इज द एंड ऑफ द थिंग्स आउट ऑफ सिलेबस अराउंड क्वेश्चंस आर अराउंड 3 to 4. ambiguity मैंने गोटे क्वेश्चन 1 completely wrong question आउ दीटा क्वेश्चन रे दीटा क्वेश्चन रे दीटा आंसर आसुची मल्टीपल आंसर आसुची हम कहि परबा. ओके सो गोटे ग्रेस मिल पारे आउ दीटा रे ई मिल पारे रेस्ट क्वेश्चन स्टैंडर्ड is moderate. Let's see what can be done. Okay, this is the end of the analysis of question from the botany sections.